You're live. We live, actually. Correct my grammar into the future. Man, it's like 4:20 a.m., baby. Your mileage may vary. Hey, it's my birthday. I didn't want to sleep through the good part. 48 years old, they tell me. Believe that? It's a conspiracy. Oh, somehow or another, I can do a split screen on my computer. I don't know if I can focus. Somebody should probably age restrict this video. That might be a good idea. Where we at? We live, actually, with a goat. And that's when he asked me, what kind of blues do you like? I told him, and this is the show, folks. Fourth wall break. There you go. Sip of coffee over here. Had a stranger on the street walk up to me, and cute little old black lady. Oh my lord, so much fun. Um, she says, "Did they not make that hat in a bigger size, or is just your big old head getting more swollen as you grow?" So this is 48 years of growth, folks. I don't know if you can see it. If this is like our walk through life is an artist's pose, and this is a live picture. I don't know if I'd want it to be a live sculpture, maybe for Halloween. So somewhere in here we can do a freeze frame. So got this orange hat on. This ugly, wide, fat growing head. This orange hat. I don't know if you can see it. The red in my beard. I look like a jack o' lantern. Don't look that way, Gator. It might stick. Just if I can get it to look like it's level in on the ground. Like here's a field. Don't pick me. I ain't ripe yet. Like you see a vine grow around those little tendrils go around the vine, and a little knob, little green knob, the vine going into the gourd, which is the pumpkin. And here's Jack. So let's see if I can get that where it looks like Jack is laying out in the field, maybe kind of scrunched down in the mud, trying to hide my enormous neck. I'm swole, bro. I actually saw this guy walking up the street, college kid, do that a couple of weeks ago. Ah! All right, so back into character. So Jack, for his birthday, is laying out here. It's like, what? I'm a year old. I mean, there was a root left from the vine. Went back. I got disconnected from the family. They got froze out, and here I is. Pick me. So I'm not saying the fruit of the vine talks to you. I'm just saying your mileage may vary. I would love for someone to animate that and go back and forth, do an animation. Um, an animation, and then the live face the same. Maybe alternate a few frames of animations. So like you're you're trying to keep up with it. Now, if I could do that live broadcast, that would be awesome. Oh man, talk about stretching time. So if you add in a special effect, it changes the timeline. How do you insert it? Yeah, okay. Well, that's up to you, baby. It's my birthday! March 13th, 1971. Christopher Nolan Neely. Report for duty, sir! All right, Mr. Neely, I don't think you feel yourself today, do you? You're trying to get me out on sick call. Like, I don't know if you still drunk, you high, you want to get back. Yep, that look kind of. So, how would I look bald? How's that? Huh? How's that? That's pretty neat, ain't it? Right there. All right, so here's an exercise, children. I want you to put your hands on the side of your head and stand upright and wiggle your pinkies. And when you do that, I want you to try and bounce up every time on your big toe, like a little ballerina bounce. I'm a pretty, pretty princess. Somebody is watching this now. So, here we go, children. We're bouncing up and down. And, when you see their eyes starting to roll back, they're getting tired. Okay, we change the dance a little. And you're like, all right, we're done dancing. Everybody sit down and be quiet for a minute. Mamo needs some rest time. Yeah, so here, children. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna act like our hands are the plates of a vice. Now, don't hurt yourself. Maybe that's the object of the exercise. And your own head is the object in the vice. So everything's tension, compression, and this is a good way for kids to get exercise as well, right? So they're pumping blood, pumping oxygen, put a little bit of pressure on their head, so they're moving every little thing around. And if they're thirsty, they'll need to drink some water, and if they're tired, they'll need to go to sleep. And maybe that's just what they need to get the blood pumping so they can move. So we can edit that out right about there. On rebound. All right, so clamps and device. So you press in and change the expression on your face. Now, is that happening because you're pressing on it, or are you making your face do it and then trying to match it with your hands? So that's what we explore today, ladies and gentlemen, on Fun Time Story Time with Uncle Goat. I mean, that's a show in itself, right? That's like 8.5 minutes of material. 9 if you stretch it. Maybe add some animation. I mean, you could almost make a life story out of that. Huh. What an artsy thing to say. Well, you don't look bad for 96, but unfortunately, you're 48. Breathe, laugh, eat. So what if I just never turned this off? Figured out how I can go over here and talk to the guys on the hippie commune. So if you enjoy my content, you can go to PayPal me / goat 6047 CNN. pay me. So maybe this is what life is all about. 48. Some parts of me feel like 96, like the part where they screwed the titanium screws into my bone. Yeah, in my back, wiggle, 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 and move a certain way, and one of those four screws goes and moves in the bone. I'll give you a few seconds to absorb that. Those are some of the faces some of you are gonna make. Oh, that poor boy right there. Woo. No wonder he high. You know, if you look at me from the right angle, I could be a little tiny baby, or I could be a big giant. These are the explorations of art, and where we go from there, you know, it might even be age restricted. I'm just saying. So maybe that's what life's all about. Is we're here, and there's some things that are not quite right. For whatever reason, my back just popped. So good. We're just trying to live for a little while in a place I like to call No Painsville. And if you don't know where that's at, just wait. Something will happen. You'll be like, that is entirely wrong. I I do not want to tolerate this any longer. Insert ailment here. Like my hip. Was he making those noises because he's trying to pop his hip back in place? Or maybe he's got so used to it, he likes the way it wiggles in a joint. I'm dancing, I'm dancing, I'm 96 and I'm dancing, I'm dancing. Soundtrack options available. So there was a good freeze frame, I think. I don't know. Sometimes you get so high, you're like floating along like a helium filled foil, mylar skin foil float in the Macy's Fate, uh, Macy's cut the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, and you're afloat in this parade. I mean, I don't think there's anything really wrong with that. You know, if you're in control, you're not hurting anybody. I'm a doctor's approval. It's medical marijuana. And I've laughed more in the past 7, 8 months than I have in 7 years, I guarantee you. 2012, yeah. Not a lot of laughs in 2012. 2013 sucked. Started off declaring bankruptcy February 13th. Hmm. Dang it. That is not an anniversary I would like to remember. Just remember to breathe. That's all yoga is, right? Oh, oh, yeah, that was good. Stretch that shoulder out. And I used to fling the baseball in high school. Maybe I shouldn't repeat this motion. And my shoulder clicked back into joint. Hey, I was 16. That was 32 years ago. Yeah, my math's right. He makes the googly eyes at his brain. I mean, I don't know if they would allow this in a float. You see me half deflated, laying on the asphalt. Okay, the black asphalt just kind of sinking in. No Painesville. Yeah, baby. That's where we're headed. Are we there yet? Oh shit! Damn it! I forgot my neighbor's back upstairs. I live in a basement apartment, so you could call the goat a basement troll. I try to be a kind man. It just doesn't always work out that way. Oh, I understand why people that are enamored with THC, speech impediment, first sign, love yoga. There's a cut in there somewhere. Charlie Chaplin, he's not. Hallelujah. It's my birthday. Did I mention that? Love your faces. So I've got a neighbor upstairs. I'm trying not to be obnoxiously loud. But there comes a point when the pain gets to be a little too much. It's hard to measure how loud you are. I don't know. I mean, when your back hurts, it makes your ribs hurt. I mean, that's not fun. And it does some stuff over here in your bowels, maybe you don't want to talk about. Don't shout. I'm your puppet. I think, hey, it's March, right? It's almost spring. It's my birthday today. It's my birthday. Like chocolate cake. Every kind of cake. So I'm going to, back to the main story. I'm laughed more in the past 7 months than the previous 7 years. I'm going to just go with the flow. It's my birthday, so I don't think I should be required to wear pants. Props to the universe. I'm standing right here. Like, is that light shining in your eyes? Well, where would we be without light? That's my Orson Welles impression, ladies and gentlemen. What did he do there? I don't know if he got high before or afterwards, but I love that guy. I mean, the guys in the audience want to be like him, want to be him, want to be the great Orson Welles. Rosebud. Spoiler alert! It was his sled. his little his little snow sled, little wooden snow sled. He'd fly down the hill when he's a little boy. Because those were the best moments in life for Citizen Kane. Is that light in your eyes? Or is that just a reflection in your lens blocking the light? Hey man, maybe this is the color of my sunglasses. Modified in real time. Just floating and dancing and moving to the groove. We get down, get funky, do a big ape monkey dance. Now we dance without pants. That was the white boy shimmy right there. I'm going to demonstrate my overbite and the stiffness in my hips. Let's dance. Tell you who I love to see dance was Robin Williams, man. You knew there was a spot in his brain that he just turned the dial to age restriction, age restriction. Oh, you don't want to see this. Oh, yeah, here we go. Woo, woo. Dancing with the music, dancing with the music, dancing with the music, dancing slower than the music. So, how long did he have on this earth? Well, it depends on how you measure it. Because I'm sure there were times where time was just flying by. Hello, Mr. Cocaine. How you doing today? My name's Robin Williams, and I think I'm funny. I'm really funny. Yeah, that spot existed in his mind. Oh, this isn't an evening at the Improv. It is a universe at the Improv. So what if I told you that I painted my long flowing hair, that I'm not actually bald, that my long flowing hair is a moving living portrait, and this beard is actually a beard disguised by baldness, and what you see is hair flowing back over my shoulders is actually just the beard here at the side here. It's just like right there. My hat doesn't stab me in the back of the head. Did you see that? Smith, I want you to take notes. There's going to be a test later and possibly a police investigation. Or maybe nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So I think that's Robin Williams with the dial turned to Z for Zorro, zero, fuck. We could edit some of that sound out and make it. I don't know what you would make it. Could you make it G? Oh. I've seen some of his talks. All right, so my University of Tennessee Go Big Orange. If you turn it just the right light to right speed, you get this impression. It's going to say something like UT, University of Tennessee, Knoxville. And then, what was that? That's my uncle. When you got an uncle in the steel business, every now and then, you're going to advertise for him. So there's a U if you're looking right there in the middle. There's a T, obviously. Tau Iron Works, comma, Inc. Period. Love you, Uncle Dave. You the man. I wonder if that comes out in reverse. Maybe I can fix that in post production. What? So I'm glad for the memories and growing up the way I did. I don't know if you called me a grown up. It's my birthday. I'm not gonna make any promises about doing the adulting thing like very well at all. I am not a reliable witness of my own behavior at this point. So go big orange, fist bump Will. Yeah, buddy. I get my shoulder into it. I don't know if I've limbered up or if I just broke something. And the thing, we have a common ancestor with chimpanzees. Going for bonobo, cause it's the show. The Love Show. Chimpanzee bonobo. Make love, not war. Oh, 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 baby, a little more. So, whether you believe it or not, you share a common ancestor with that chimp. Where am I going with this? How about a cartoon impression? I'm flying home, my baby, bumblebee. Um, buzzards. That's pretty much how I ruined our chances at a second year of the EMS World Tour of the Evil Minions of Safety Pup College Bowl tournament team. The team really was Mike Renfro. He was the smart one of the bunch, I think. At least in College Bowl that year. First freshman team to win College Bowl at Tennessee Tech University, and I was one of them schmoes. I'm not sure how much I actually contributed to any of this victory. Maybe I was just good company to the brain that was my roommate. I don't know. I mean, I like to think I have a long, deep bench to pull upon, the objects of trivia in which I can demonstrate my intellect. If that didn't sound pompous, I don't know how you would phrase it, make it any better. My intellect. By Christopher Nolan Neely. Copyright 2019. March 13th. His 48th birthday. PayPal me / GOAT, GOAT. Is that spelled? There's a cut in there. So PayPal me. / GOAT 6047 CNN. And some magnificent portion of the money will get to me. You know, I'm thinking about putting a waterfall in my pheasant painting. Like, what? Where does Kansas have a waterfall during pheasant season? Yeah. So I'll make you ask questions like that, grind your intellect, and thus proving my own. Your move. So, Jack, Billy Jack, Bill. Sorry, man. Sometimes pain's funny. Baked. Doing the blurry fat man dance. He baked. He baked. He baked. Like, yeah, I think my back's limbered up a little bit. That hip's a little dodgy, though. It's like out there waving in the wind like a broken chicken wing. Sometimes that feels pretty good. Huh, that's a new sensation in that region. Huh, that's kind of pulling that away on them nerves. Like, that's an interesting way to wire up the entertainment center. Huh, maybe I should do that more often at a medium pace. Huh, that is a new sensation. Oh, that's pain. You're like, wow. Loads downs. This is how the groundhog makes the hole in the ground. He just wiggles his behind a little bit, dig on down there, baby. So my hip is fine. You know who you are. I was just tired. So the groundhog. I mean, imagine if this was in Groundhog Day. Would that hurt cells? no pants. Let's dance. I don't know what note I hit, but I think I slid right through some really good ones. Doing the hamster, doing the hamster, doing the hamster dance. Get my fat moving boy, get my fat moving boy. Said the actress to the bishop. The bishop says, you call me the cardinal. Might be up for breaking the cardinal rule if that's two actresses and this bishop. That's how my western is going to start. You see some old hobo sitting on the side of a dirt road, leaned up against a log, playing a harmonica, and you're not sure if he's having a seizure or what's going on. Is he still alive? Is that just the wind blowing through his harmonica? He's got his eyes closed, and every now and then his body shudders, and you hear this sound. Shit, it's like 5 a.m. I am so sorry, Shelly. I am so sorry. Please don't hurt me. You're a lovely person. I never wanted to upset you. I swear. You deserve to be around men that are gentlemen and ladies that adore you and love you and you love the back. You shouldn't have to worry about some fat man down here trying to medicate or over medicate perhaps his back just because it's his birthday. Sometimes I do freeform poetry. It's my birthday, so it's a no pants, no dance. Or dance if you want to. We can dance if you want to. We can leave this world behind. Slap her on the behind. And we dance. And we dance. And we dance. And we dance. We dance. You're like, why would you do that to yourself? Yeah, there comes a point where a fella reaches a certain age, certain levels of abuse to his body and mind, where you're not sure if you're limbering up or you just broke something. Right there, it felt good. Or maybe it'll feel good when it stops hurting so bad. Oh, I want y'all to know I love you. I was making a heart a second ago. Oh, making a red heart. Oh, stretch that other shoulder out, fat man. Fat man. Is that like the Batman symbol? Right there with the shadow. I can see some animation in my future. And like that's the robot dance I do. See a heart. You see the bat signal. You see the laughing Joker, the Joker's laughing face. Why so serious? Let's dance. Extra points for jazz hands. Let's dance. It's like the gay fringes on my buddy's bike. Let's dance. I guess they'd be out this way, wouldn't they? That'd be a messed up bike. You got to ride it like leaning forward on your elbows. It's a mountain bike. Some of you perverts are like that. I'm pointing down, down there, perverts. Stop it. I said, stop it. Wow. I don't know whether to be frightened from the the static created by my hair, that wiggling my hat around, or to be alarmed at how little hair there is to move. Well, I just do not know what to do with that head. Should I shave it? I mean, look at that. I mean, right now, if I furrow my brow, I look like a Klingon. Let me change the light a little bit. Let's see here. Go out with that one. I look like a Klingon. And Jason Statham. Let's dance. This is my Jason Statham impression dance. Let's dance. I'm not saying he can dance. I'm just saying this is how it would feel if you were him. Let's dance. Oh yeah, and then this is the one of the guy that's the villain in Hancock, and he gets his hand chopped off. Let's dance. This is that professor that pointed at you and said bad things. Let's dance. But he taught you math, didn't he? You paid attention after that. Damn it, I'm too loud. You might have to blur the camera a little bit to see that motion I was just doing there. Can't wait to watch that on replay. Send feedback. You suck. Say something in the chat room, shall we? I think something else popped my back. It felt so good. All right, put a little light on the situation. And that's how high you get on your birthday. Here's to you, brothers. Here and present, near and far. Emotions like a desert, but way stronger in the current than a sandbar. Here's to you, brothers and sisters. Those that I've loved and I stopped loving, you left me. We just had to leave, baby. But here we are right now. I don't know if I'm back or you are. But cheers, your beverage of choice. Toast, fine roast on these caramel scented, naturally, no added caramel, roasted bitter legume nuts, also known as coffee. You know that caffeine is the most popular mind altering substance that human beings consume on the planet. It beats by far caffeine, a potentially psychoactive substance. Martin, top of the Martin to you. Have you had your dose yet? It's almost as good as whiskey. Your mind goes to great places. I think I'm going to put a waterfall in my pheasant painting. I might do that on camera. Wow, that would require me getting up out of bed, maybe putting on some pants. I don't think I will. Oh, say something. Been trying. Hope that audio's good. The visual ain't all that great. So, what do you do with a head that looks like that? Does that look like a Klingon having a bad hair day, or does it? My name is Wolf. Was that his name, or did he like cough and fart at the same time? What was that sound? I don't know. I grew up with white people. Like Klingon is like everything you love and hate about humanity. Like there's some geek out there that decoded the Klingon language from what the Star Trek creators Gene Roddenberry had envisioned 1960. Who knows what those people were on? Man, I hope they were in No Painesville And that's the advertisement for my Netflix or Amazon, or I'm going to start my own network streaming. It's going to be free to the people that I love the most, and money will flow, and things will be awesome. And we'll do live stream. Let's do lunch, shall we? Right now, we're going to do brunch, which is some very good coffee. I brew it. Come on, I know what I'm doing. I can sell this by the ounce, maybe a half ounce. $100 for a half ounce? What do you want? My mortgage? You want a blood sample? You want half my blood? And an arm and a leg for half an ounce. Half my limbs for half an ounce, an arm and a leg. Well, we ain't even talking about that limb, baby. You walk on that limb, bird, you're on your own. Tweet, tweet. It's my birthday. Still dancing. Grooving too. Really, it's only coffee, but hey, toast with what you got, brothers. Even if it's just fresh air. Because that's one of my favorite mixtures with good whiskey. It's fresh air. So you take a good sniff of fresh air and get you a snifter of whiskey, or a few wee drams of whiskey in your gob. Put that in your cup. Don't get it close to the fire. It's a flammable. Zupa. So I like Scotch whiskey. I mean, if you like whiskey and you don't like Scotch, maybe we should spell it differently. Maybe you're just not in the proper point in the gene pool, and those genes haven't turned on for you to develop those senses. Yeah, it's an acquired taste, and once you acquire it, you're like, man, I sure would like to acquire that again. That was a magical moment. So yeah, fresh air in, and then a sip of whiskey, a shot of whiskey, whatever you want to do, a little teaspoonful, whatever. Perhaps roll it around your mouth like wine, or like mouth rinse like Listerine. I don't know. Can we get them on board? Sponsorship? We'll talk. Um, you roll that whiskey around in there, like coat your palate with it. Breathe in, mix it with a little fresh air, and you can feel a little bit of a burn in your gums. Man, is that nice. I mean, good bourbon's pretty good. I drank so much Jack Daniels. Hey, I was throwing blood clots. I was angry. Wish the Jack Daniels didn't help. But hey, I don't think I killed anybody. I don't think. Can't make that promise. So my heart is throwing clots, and my brain is having strokes, and I don't know when's the first time I hurt my neck as a child. Does my neck look like this because it's swollen from injury? Or is it just finally relaxing? I mean, I wiped out a little BMX bike. It wasn't really a BMX, it was a street bike. It was all shiny, pretty new, and I proceeded to take it out, bend the wheels, smack into the side of the garage. So I was jumping across the driveway. It's one of those stories. So, you want the backstory or the next story? Because I think the back is related. Tension and compression. Tension and compression. Tension, compression. Tension, compression. It's like George Washington on the dollar bill. You can do that demonstration where you take a dollar bill, which I might even have somewhere in this joint. There's a wallet with a dollar bill in it, with George Washington's face on it. Refreshment. And that nutty roasted chocolate nuts coffee taste you've grown to know and love. Sponsored by Goat Blades, the sharpest thing on the planet next to his mind. is Goat Blades, the greatest of all time. Blades. Ma ha 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 ha. Hunger. I should do a little mustache on his face. I turned my sword into a paintbrush. For you see, the pen is mightier than the sword. And that's how I would like to cast Alfred, Batman's butler, and then have this English butler. Is he English or is he just acting English? Does he have English ancestry, whatever you want to call it? But he's acting the part, so this is the guy I want. That it's dinner time, so like his butt's a little scrunched up. That's why he talks that way. It's dinner time, so well, I hope the audio's working on this. Cheers, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna get to the sisters. Always do. Always do. Some of them Latina sisters. Did you say Venezuela? I said that. That's what I call my donkey snort laugh. Heck. If I do it just right, you won't be able to tell the difference. Was that a replay? Did they rewind that stuff? Did he say a bad word in there? Oh my Lord. So I was watching Terry Pratchett. Left turn. Hold on to the brakes. Pump your brakes, pump your brakes, pump your brakes. So I'm dancing, man. I'm watching Terry Pratchett. And he's one of these characters. They have golems. It's called Going Postal. What a fantastic happening. I mean, wow. So the way I saw it, there were two parts of it, and they were exactly the same, only they weren't. Like Terry Pratchett hides stuff around. It's based on his novels and a movie, which I'm going to star in, called Discworld. There's a Discworlds. I don't know. Oh, somewhere on here I have an Amazon link. I guess I could look that up. Or Wikipedia. Woo, buddy. Yeah. So I'm watching this Going Postal thing. It's all about this con man that does he get resurrected, get a second chance at life? He gets hanged or is it hung? You know the British. Uh, it's set in Discworld, and it's all over the place. And like depending on your mood, you could watch that thing 100 times and find 1,000 different little points that you missed the last time you saw it. I mean, he does some weird stuff. You're like, is that the professor that was in the last scene, or did he didn't have a wart on his nose, and that other professor looked a little taller, and his face wasn't so pointy, and his beard wasn't so great. Oh yeah, and the other one was wearing a wizard's hat. So was it a wizard or a wizard professor? I don't know. It was in the script. Yeah, I think we're gonna keep that. That was a fourth wall break for 5 minutes, or is that a fifth wall break for 4 minutes? So I'm putting a waterfall in my painting of my pheasant. Just a matter of where am I going to put it. And is it wintertime? You know how waterfall gets them frosted stalagmite looking icicles? I was thinking, so there's a cliff. I mean, it might be done now. I can see it right here. And if you're an artist, you understand that. I can see it right here. Like right here. I can see some of it right there on the canvas. I got that tingling. I think I can transfer it from here to there. and make it happen on the canvas in a reasonable facsimile of what I see the world being. And I think that's a great thing. I think we build monuments to people that do that, to women, to children that produce art. So I can see a cliffside this pheasant is flying in front of. It's wintertime and it's been just battered with snow, and there's clumps of snow stuck everywhere in the right light. Yeah. And then over here along this cliff, you realize you're looking at the face of the cliff, and the face is carved out in a U or V shape. And this is a waterfall that you're looking over. You're like in a drone looking down. Man, I hope the sound's working on this. You're like floating above that waterfall, the rush of the air going one way, mixing with the water, and the water's turning white. It's dark blue here, it's black there, it's purple there, and there's all this energy going at a waterfall. It's just neat, everything's just going with gravity. Woo, I'm a water drop. Oh, here comes a big bubble there. Woo, wee. That air got compressed. That's tension and compression, tension and compression. And a water droplet is just a spheroid of water where the surface tension is holding in the body, adding extra pressure on the internal matrix that holds the water molecules together. And then around the spherical border is almost like this thickened skin of surface tension that holds it all together. And it's falling through the air, but it's hitting wind resistance. And like it's shaped where like a Hershey's Kiss almost, where the bottom of it wants to be spherical in the perfect world or whatever in a vacuum, and but because of the wind resistance of it falling through the air via gravity, the the bottom of that spheroid gets flattened out, and it looks like something like um, a water droplet that's bounced off of an umbrella, and it's got a flat spot, and you're watching it in slow motion from underneath the horizon of this flattening event. And then the sides of the raindrop get tapered upward depending on the airspeed, especially if you have an updraft going in a storm. These raindrops are forming and they got this magnificent curving cone effect to this column that still wants to be a spherical drop. So there's tension on the surface, tension, what used to be a spheroid. And maybe if you pull on it hard enough, it'll pop apart into two droplets of rain. So these are the sorts of things that I ponder. And I'm trying to educate folks, and I'm just trying to be a nice guy. Maybe you just need to sit down, let this go in the background softly, out with the bad air, breathe in with the good air, meditate. Meditate. Concentrate on your breathing. I'm talking too much and too loudly. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shelly. Meditate softly. And then because you're old, you get this pain down here in your belly. It's where your appendix is, you think. Like one time I coughed so hard, I thought maybe my appendix flew out of me. I'm not even sure which end it flew out of. So there's just pain down here. You like to dance, but you can't move. It hurts so bad. Oh. Yeah, so I had that March 8th. That was the anniversary of my passing of my father. No, that was his birthday. Oh man, I think we buried him the day after his birthday. So that's some of the subject of birthdays. You get old, and you're like, 48 is almost 50. That could be something really ugly growing in my colon. I mean, I grew up in a nuclear town. My grandfather, took home used work gloves that, came from the radiation bomb factory place. That's where he worked at Oak Ridge. I don't know if he handled a uranium cake with those gloves. Oh, the stories you hear. Oh, so anyway, you're like, this hurts a lot. Some people say cancer don't hurt. Fuck cancer. I don't want to know sometimes. And other times I'm like, well, it'd be better if I found out. And, I don't have the best of habits. I don't know if you notice. I mean, some of you ladies really like this svelte body, especially on my birthday, barrel chest. So see, I don't normally like a hairy chest, but on him, it looks pretty good. And that's her hand right there, just stroking the hairs on my chest. And then some of you bad females, you're like, I'ma shave that. I like that too, baby. Clean look. Look at that. So I'm still not sure if I should shave my head or not. What do you think? Take all that off. Just show my raw, bald melon. Hey, it's close to St. Baldrick's Day. I could raise money. Yeah, I mean, for the charity. Allegedly. That's what I witnessed, officer. I'm not a reliable witness. I mean, look at that hair. I'm going to the courtroom. You're going to want me to take care of some of that. I don't know. Shave it, shine it, burn it off, shoot it. I don't care. Something's got to change. I will not put you on a witness stand looking like that. You look like Einstein caught in a wind tunnel. I almost made the calculation. God, he had one of the greatest accents ever. And a good physicist has got to have some stupid hair, man. At some point, some drawing, some portrait, some painting, some picture, his hair looking like this. And he's explaining a point about how, we don't improvise here. This is just what the universe reveals to physics. And you have to understand this. And to some people, it's metaphysical and psychology related. It's interpretive physics. Hate that. It's like saying that the bird of a wing is made of a brick wall. That's just wrong. So I'm going to tell you about that dollar bill. We'll be back after these messages. That's what we call a cliffhanger in the business. Yep, I'm sophisticated. It's my birthday. I'm about to dog on my birthday. Where were we? Cartoon impressions? No. Scroll back. All right, there's a time code here somewhere. Oh no, this is the commercial. Oh, okay. So send me some money, because I'm broke. I'm broke, Jack. Bro. Broke, bro. Leveled. Raised. So should I do a fundraiser? Kickstarter? I mean, somebody brought up the idea. I mean, it's not like I haven't helped people in this society. I've fed the hungry and clothed the poor and sick, and I've carried people into hospitals, and I've carried a couple out. So this emotion gets put into my art. even when I get loud. I'm so sorry, my neighbor. So I hope, let's do it in the Einstein voice, shall we? So one would hope, that sounds more like the German guy from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. One would hope that an understanding, what's an unt? It's 3/4 of a cup, not half as good. It's my birthday. Like, how do you sell that Marvel DC comic book character right there? I want him played by Antonio Banderas. Antonio Banderas as Batman? What in the Robin Hood are you smoking? The guy I got it from called it birthday cake. I'm like, see, I swish it around my mouth like it's whiskey, good whiskey, single malt Scotch, good whiskey, like small batch bourbon whiskey, that good. Swish that smoke around in my mouth. Inhale. I'm like, yeah. It's my birthday. I'm dancing. I'm moving. I'm shuffling on down the road like an old man carrying a cane. No cocaine, please. 'Cause that's a secret to getting old. No cocaine. Wow, wow. Cocaine. None for me, thank you. I'll just enjoy the performance of some other folks that have been on it. I'm not going to stick that stuff up my nose or in a vein. I might let a medical professional operate on my eye by putting a drop of cocaine hydrochloride fluid, medical grade, in my eye so that, they can correct something like a cataract or who knows. Maybe they're going to zap it with a laser. Pew! Laser vision eyes and those bronze, oh, melt in your mouth chocolate thighs. That's kind of blues that I like, baby, especially on my birthday. Buck tooth dog on my birthday. Buck tooth dog, buck tooth dog. Dum, 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 dum. This is the song we do at the intro. Dum, 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 dum. Just close enough to the Munsters theme to not suck, but not so much that like the heirs and family of the Mancini clan, Boom Boom, what's his name, Mancini? It wrote the Munsters theme, 1313 Mockingbird Lane. Imagine if y'all got all that in one laugh. One laugh. All that work. I spent 17 hours in makeup in one day. And all I got from the Oscars was, huh, well, we do need more black friends with money. Damn straight. Cheers to that, brothers and sisters. You actors on a stage out there. So I promise to elicit this emotion in my art. Hopefully, you can see what I'm seeing. Some of you will want to feel what I'm feeling. And for some of you, this can happen and will happen. I don't know what you're going to have to do to get there, but you can see a vulture flying in front of the cliff, a phoenix rising from the fiery ashes, and the smoke flying as it spreads its wings for the first time. It's way more than a pheasant. is oh so pleasant. This is what I like to call the down and dirty lounge sound part of the hour. Hour number 2. Edit accordingly. God, where was I? My painting. Well, there's a little pain in it. And some places I've used a little extra linseed oil, solve it on the paint, and the paint kind of run down. And it reminds me of the mineralization marks in the side of a cliff, where you see the movement of those minerals has changed the color of the rock on the cliff face and allowed some of the grasses to grow down on the underside of a cliff that's an undercut. Who knows what that is? There's some dirt, some stone, some rocky dirt, some dirty rock. I like my dirty rock. That was my metal face. I was almost punched myself in the entertainment center. Ooh, that was a close one, Margaret. Look out, honey. You might want to duck for this next thing. Duck down here and get you some jelly bear. That's the answer to the question on the hippie commune. Let's see if I can get on the hippie commune right here. All right. Okay. What? Oh man, what thread was that? Was it? I think it was heck. Huh? Are you getting the TTU Charlie Brown hard drive spanking position or congratulations in order? So obviously, hopefully, this is getting caught on camera. Where are we at here? Which camera? Which camera am I looking at? Oh my God! I'm not an animal. I mean, when you reach a point where you have to say that, dude, you are. If you ever have to stand up in the middle of a restaurant like Hooters and say, "I am not stupid," and everybody else in the room is thinking, "Oh yes, you is, brother. You is stupid. You is stupid. You is stupid, Daisy. You are not a pretty flower. You may be a pretty, pretty princess, but you are not a pretty flower." I don't know if I can incorporate that into the Einstein accent or not. Let's see if we can get back to the video. Live control room? Oh, there I am. This technology thing. Get a little ahead of you. You ever see somebody that's a little bit tipsy? Might have drank a dram way too much of whiskey. So walking downhill, you think, or maybe they're trying to do the moonwalk uphill. They're so high they low, and their head gets ahead of their feet, and their feet are running trying to catch up. You're like, I'm not sure if I want to drink some of that or if I never want to touch that. Like, I'm having one of those kind of days. Let me sit down and have a drink and think about it. Maybe I'll come up with an idea. Cheers, brother. Pour a little out for my homies. Here you go, brothers and sisters. Sisters. Oh, I love the sisters. Mm, mm, mm. So I used a little, natural paint thinner, linseed oil. I think it's boiled linseed oil. It's Da Vinci brand. So there's a commercial right there. Da Vinci brand. And that that solvent thins out the pigment and it flows down and it can look like a cliffside. But it can also look like a riverbank, like where it's underwashed and the water is wiggled through the dirt, or did the dirt wiggle through the water and attach here and subtract from there? It just came from 5 feet over. It came 1,000 miles, carried by sand, carried by the wind. Who knows? And you can get this melty liquid effect because it's a liquid, so it's just dancing down the cliff or down the riverbank. So, how do you get color? Man, so much there. So you have layers of crust in the earth, and a lot of it has iron, so you get your iron oxides, and you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with them. You can heat them up so that they effectively rust at a different rate, and use that as pigment. Mix that with an oil, with a gum, like from a tree, like a gum tree. Uh, Latex paint is basically, why there's so many red barns is the prevalence of iron oxide in the earth's crust. Yeah, so then you can take it and burn it, you know, then use the charcoal from the fire and mix that up with lamp oil or kerosene or whatever. Burn it again, and then have uh, have it collected on the inside surface of a glass flue, like a hurricane lamp chimney, uh, and then scrape that very fine carbon dust, that soot, lamp black is what it is known as. You have a perfect, I, I mean, a really, really good. Some would say perfect. I have said perfect. Just did. Oh, open my drawers, my belly showing. It's my birthday. So, color. It's minerals. It's how the light hits the surface. You can have some interference, an atmospheric interference that changes the color of the light. Uh, the lumens, the brightness, the darkness, the lack of light. Some would argue the lack of every color. So lamp black, that's the thing to me. Like it's related to the light. Like it's a lamp, a hurricane lantern, or a lamp with fire in it. So the heat and light are going out, and then some of it's getting obfuscated by the glass, and then the fire's going, so it needs airflow. So that's pretty cool. So that fire is related to iron because iron makes itself into steel with some carbon and some fire heat. So there's this pheasant, and I mean it's burning up out of like a rocket. It's burning up out of the field. And stories like that are worth the money. So back to my Kickstarter. Um, so I'm an artist, professional artist. My artwork sells, and for pretty big money. But it's not selling briskly. It's not selling as fast as I'd like her to. So I'd like to raise $10,000 for at least a start. I want to get a van. Cut in a van down by the river. Cut. So anyway, I want to get a van. I do some stand up too. I don't know if you noticed that. Today I'm doing some stand up laying down because it's my birthday. Oh, yeah, baby. One more right there. Oh yeah. Oh, her hands are perfect. She just walks the massage all along your back. That's like yoga in slow motion. That's how good that is. Oh yeah. So might want to edit that out for Kickstarter. So $10,000, I can get a van and fill that van with enough supplies to do my art shows and get my art out there where everyone can see it and pay what it's worth. Got one coming up here in a hurry in the summertime. It's great. One in Squirrel Hill, indoor, outdoor, combination both actually. But you have to bring your own artist booth, which is a 10 foot by 10 foot tent, like a canvas tent. That's the square footprint, and it can be up to in some places 10 feet tall, 12 feet tall. Sometimes there's free parking. Sometimes you have to pay for your spot where your tent sits. Like you might pay $100 for that spot, for that day just to have the privilege to sell your artwork. Like, this is serious business, all right? And some of these art shows, I mean, if you count the favors back and forth in the art community, there has been mega amounts of money exchange hands before that makes it to the screen. So when we paint, we edit what goes on the canvas. Uh, you can't paint everything, not in a lifetime that we recognize, not in the age of the universe, because then the age of the universe would be something you would have to paint as well. So everything is a interrelated painting to the right kind of artist. And you're like, is he manic? And then you're like, oh, I don't know, but man, he's moving magic with that paintbrush when he was manic. I mean, was that on purpose? Did he try to be manic? Does he like that? And part of the job of the artist is to allow you to see what I see. Some of what I know, but my experiences are different from yours. So what I know and what translates into art and what you see, that's a fluid thing. Um, with art, you've got obstacles for some things and then freeness that you'll never have in any other field in other ways. You work for yourself, which in and of itself is a freedom. Uh, you feel well armed to take on the universe. You know, you've got that fire in your soul like the phoenix rising from the ashes with bright fire. So it's this sort of thing. I've got a play in my head that I think would be fantastic, that would inspire folks, young and old, of all ages, but particularly young people that maybe, I grew up in a different time than they were growing up in, and their idea of hardship and their idea of joy is somewhat different from mine. Technology's changed. Um, there are things that they would be lost in my time if they were transplanted, and I'm transplanted forward into their time, and I'm lost. I'm like, what is that for? It's a controller for, and it has ergonomic. What does that even mean? Yeah. So their differences are like, yeah, back then we drove muscle cars, man. They made this sound. It made you feel something, deep in your soul, like ZZ Top Low, Blue Jean Blue, baby. Bring me back my old blue jeans. Billy Gibbons, brothers. Them old blue jeans. Oh no, be my baby. Coming home back to me. Little ZZ Top in the AM. This is AM 420. Oh, baby. Every now and then I sing the Sanford and Son theme in my head. Dum 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 dum. I like a growly bass in there. Oh man! So I know this dude. I know a chick too. I know this young lady that, man, she make a sound on a harmonica. You're like, that is the best use of lungs I have ever seen demonstrated. That sounds so beautiful. That is angelic, and yet it has a metallic edge. I mean, it's got a heavy metal. I mean, heavy metal, 140 beats a minute or a second or something. Just buzzing heavy metal. It also has this soothing, like, And all in there is singing the blues. I lost my baby on the other side of town. You can go into slow motion in the blues, man. And then down deep, you hit that strum, that slam on the guitar, that one note, and you turn into Carlos Santana, and you're like launching like a rocket ship. The gravity's just pulling your face down. He talks about this in his master class. And if you can't convey that emotion on your face and show that effort, then the audience is not going to feel what you feel. And somebody made millions of dollars with Carlos Santana. I hope he's cashing in well because he is a master, man. A master. Yes, indeed, senor. Like he's a superhero in the blues and rock and roll. He lays down this amazing riff on the guitar that you just feel in your soul. It's all bluesy and Caribbean or Caribbean. Caribbean. You see like some Puerto Ricans dancing. This dirty farty bass. Just a sloppy, dirty bass. It's like a monster coming up from the deep, from the bowels of the earth. And that's what that appendicitis felt like. Something was about to erupt. I don't know which way it's a going. Got me a rooster tail. Woo. I mean, it hurt, brothers and sisters. It hurt. March 8th anniversary of my father's birth. He died the day before his 28th birthday, March 7th, which I didn't particularly even notice this year, although I'm sure I mentioned it somewhere. If I didn't, I'll go back and mention it. Well, yeah, that was my date of death, date of deceased, date of deceasement. I like when old men play with their beards, like they're thinking, like they're pumping the thoughts in their brain. Maybe they're just pumping oxygen because they're old. They got to get some more oxygen in the lungs up to the brain. Here we go, boys. Get my eyes working better. All right. Woo. I'm a professor for crying out loud. I have a little dignity here in your final hours. And get me a big floppy pointy hat. Looks like somebody put a slipper on the end of it, like those court jesters wear. Be the professor. I'm the professor. Let's set this on fire and see what happens. Oh no! Everyone run! Professor looks like Jabba the Hutt. You have one of those fat, disgusting lectures. Jabba the Hutt professor is the worst ever. Because if you're a dude, you're like, am I supposed to fight this thing? What's my assignment here? Like, I need to limber up, get ready for a punch. Little. I mean, is that kind of Jabba the Hutt? Like, is he small enough I can just squish him? He's like a slug or something, right? Just a little salt. But he doesn't go swimming in the ocean. So yeah, so Jabba the Hutt, like that fat, that kind of bass sound. Imagine Jabba the Hutt with a big old bass guitar. It's like 12 feet long, and he's got like his snail body kind of wrapped around it. His cephalopod, like brain foot body, like, making this awful noise. What is that? Ooh, that's like slimy, dirty, oily. Ew. And that's the kind of face you can get them to make. You can do it just right with the art. Why would you do that? Am I allowed to like that? Eesh. That might be considered racist. I don't know. I mean, I was born in this race, the human race. We're all one. I'm on Team Humanity. I saw it on a T-shirt. My brother, like elbow slam, that great. Love you, man. Love your work. Keep the faith, man. Stay black. You know. God, I'm so white. I'm so white. I'm red. I'm red Cherokee. Red black. School colors. Little dude beige. Like laying out here. Come here, baby. What? I'm just adjusting the quilt. It's a comforter. It's my birthday. I'm going to get comfortable. Boy, I should probably edit that 50 minutes out. You ever want to start your birthday over? I'm asleep. Leave me alone. He doesn't look comfortable. Oh, but I like it when he gets comfortable. Isn't that right, Terry? Oh, you've never been wrong, Chris. Oh, Lordy. Oh, yep. Some of that's going to need some editing. Ooh, buddy. Oh, man. Fresh air and whiskey. Breakfast of champions. See the red cheek. And they're such a cute drunk. Oh, really? I haven't had any alcohol. Oh, it's been a long time. I mean, days and days. Hmm. Perhaps that's a good idea. My birthday is close to St. Patty's Day, so I get to make bad leprechaun impressions all day on my birthday. It's awesome. It is so cool to be me. And they named Big Red. I had the nerve one year. My estranged wife even commented, "What's with the red?" So I was St. Patrick's Day. We're going out for dinner and a drink at local bar, and like dinner was like cheesy hot dogs. They were fantastic, and the drink was whatever because it was St. Patrick's Day. And I went out wearing a red, like maroon shirt. Like that, did that turn into a maroon dress shirt? Oh yeah, it was highlighting red in my beard, a whole lot less gray. Made my face look sharper, my cheeks a little rosier, more Irish. Irish, Irish. F you, I'm Scottish, brother. Do you want to see me bagpipe? It needs tuning. We'll break it to bassoon here in a minute. Now I'm going to do voluptuous black woman singing the last verse. The last words of it. So we sang that at my grandfather's funeral and my grandmother's funeral. But at my grandfather's funeral, I was singing it. One could argue I was leading the singing with my bass rumble voice. I'll do a little bit of that for you. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. But now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We know less days to see God's praise. And when we first begun, through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already gone, and that grace that's brought me safe thus far. That grace will lead me home. Amazing Grace. It's a path home. It's about the journey. Will you write poetry about me? Sing it to the tune of Amazing Grace. Or perhaps the Yellow Rose of Texas. But we'll get to that later. That's the introduction to my Western. Cut. So $10,000 to get a van. Back to the subject. Get a van. Get a van. Get a van. Get a van. So I get a van. I modulated the density of my jowls to do a Klingon impression. My name is Lieutenant Wolf. Bad hair day. All right, so I'm asking folks for a deal, a straight up donation. Oh, I'll give you a percentage, but not controlling interest or controlling percentage of the stock of me as an artist, as a professional artist. I've already got the licenses, the EIN, everything else. Sales tax license, paid sales tax already. $10,000 can get me around the whole country to a lot of events, and I get in front of the right people, the ones with money and with discerning taste that understand the time and the emotion that's invested in a painting, an oil painting that ties you back 500 years to Leonardo da Vinci. A pheasant flying in the snow. Could he have seen that? Certainly, there was influence from the Orient. There could have been pheasant out roaming around. Perhaps he even shot and ate them. Although some claim he was vegetarian, but I'm telling you, he just didn't like animals to suffer needlessly, much like the Buddha 1,000 years before him, and then another 1,000 years. And you won't have the keys to the empire, but you get to be along for the ride. I'm going to mount some cameras inside and outside the van, and that's going to be part of my reality show about art. And my life experiences influence my art, obviously, right? How could it not, right? Okay. Try to look a little more dignified for the professor investors. Woogie, 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 woogie. Bloopers number 9. Terry Hancock. No, it's Tony Hancock. Oh, there goes one. News Anderson. What? Anderson. What did it say? Anderson Music Company. I didn't know the Andersons got into music that big. Hey, give me a thumbs up. Hit that like button right there, or hit dislike. I mean, I love y'all. Love your faces. So $10,000 for a van and a tent, and I've already got a lot of artwork to sell and a lot of artwork to display. Um, I promise you, I will use the money faithfully and not waste your money, your time, or mine. And I will get my art out there. And this video is even part of that, part of my fundraising, so that I can give back to the world what it's given me, hopefully thousands of times over, but at least give back one on one with my art, showing you what I see, what I've experienced, what I've survived. Hopefully, this knowledge passes on and people become inspired like Leonardo da Vinci has inspired me from my childhood on. Uh, and if you want to be a part of that, I just need $10,000 to get started. I had it at points. I've earned that money. I've lost that money. I've been sued. I've been injured. I had one back surgery. If I'd had to pay for it out of my pocket, would have been $80,000. What I'm saying is, I'm not. I'm trying not to be cocky here, although sometimes that's useful. I've paid my dues. I've suffered a lot of pain. I've seen a lot of pain flow through other people and just knock them down, just drag them down like gravity. Like gravity always wins. Oh. At the end of the day, that log or that stone is going to weigh 500 pounds, just like it did at the start of the day. Now, can you, with your body, move that stone? Yes, maybe at the right time of the day without injury. Yeah, I can do that. How far, how fast? And those experiences of pain and elation, I pushed the rock and pushed the rock up the hill. You know, was it Persecution? That was doomed to push a rock up the hill every day, just giant boulder. Ugh, ugh, ugh. You know, he's out there in the rain and the snow and the piercing, burning sun that just chars you from the inside out. You're dehydrated. You're pushing on this rock. You're not sure if you're pushing it up the hill or if you're just holding it back so it doesn't roll over you like a million tons of water over Niagara Falls and just crush you like a grape in the wine press of life on that hill. And you'll just be a shiny red spot on the hill for a while, and that will fade. And those are the emotions I want to convey as an artist. Uh, a lot of stuff about art, a lot of BS out there, but some real truth too. You see what you see, you paint what you see. If I can, as an artist, make you feel something that I want you to feel, or make you stop feeling something that's hurting you, or that you don't want to hurt no more, make that stop and then go on to the next chapter or whatever your life is. If I can convey those sorts of emotions, great. If you can see them, that's fine. If you want to, more than just seeing them, I hope that my art allows you to embrace that emotion that perhaps you need to embrace. And I goof off and I do some stuff that are like, that old man's dirty. He might be a racist. But in all seriousness, this is about us identifying what makes us different and realize that it's just a teeny tiny fraction of who we are. Like, we are team humanity. We are one, like 99.999, who knows how many nines to a billion nines, 999% alike. And just these tiny little things make us interesting. A little bit of skin pigment here and less hair there, and more hair there. Uh, you know, some people are colorblind. Some people perhaps see too much color at once and get overwhelmed. They're sensitive to bright and bold light. It can even cause seizures. I mean, it's amazing stuff. So if I can convey that in my art, I think that's a good investment to pass on to future generations. I'm making a record of it as we speak. One man's struggle and just how real life can be and how it can weigh you down, but you can still fly. And there's no such thing as false hope. There's hope, baby. Give me a thumbs up for that, would you? A fist bump. Hope is real, man. Keep hope alive. I think something my back popped. It popped 3 times right there while I was trying to say it. Man, that felt good when it stopped hurting. Oh yeah. So if I can allow you to feel something, I don't necessarily want to make you feel something, but if I can, I had this sweater when I was a teenager. I just loved. My girlfriend gave it to me. It was soft and warm, but it was tough. Like I played football in this, and I mean, I just cleaned house in this sweater, man. I mean, I just bowled people over, smashed them down on the ground. Sometimes we're playing no pads or nothing. I mean, I got like jeans on and a sweater, and we're just throwing each other down in a hard Tennessee packed clay dirt that field, just beating the crap out of each other. I come up clean and crisp as a daisy, brothers. Sisters love watching me and helping me along my way. Like that's how good I looked in that sweater. Didn't have to be playing football, but I could. And I could also spin around and put a whooping on you if I had to. And then right there, I felt when my back popped. I'm like, you know what? That's so good. It's painful. But I think I can work with it. Oh, I mean, you reach a point where I'm celebrating the I'm not celebrating. I don't know what I'm doing. So I have this fear, this unfounded phobia, perhaps, that I would not see 28 years old, and I'm really glad now that it did not come true. But I was afraid that when I turned 28, that'd be it, or maybe the day before, like my father did. So a phobia is like an unfounded fear, right? So I mean, you could say I had a phobia of time. That there's going to be a time where I'm going to be turning 28 years old, and this might be the end. Like, am I doomed to repeat the downfalls of my father? Those sort of thoughts run through your head at some point if you've got some intellect, and you calm yourself and meditate and sing Amazing Grace to yourself or whatever you need to do to calm and realize that all those worries, all those calories, and all that anguish you invested in worry, there's no need for that anymore because we're going to come together as one humanity and we're going to be strong and beautiful and carry on in the future together. And I think that's when we can really fly. We need to listen to really smart people like Elon Musk with an eye to the future and an eye to the past. He drives an old car that has no electronics on it whatsoever. It has electrical points, and some of you people have no idea what I'm talking about. I might as well be speaking in Russian or Chinese, and you're American. And uh, these old cars that had just all they had was fires exploding and a spark. The spark plug was invented by Nikola Tesla in like 1892. He came up with the idea, hey, I have air and gas mixed, and then I make a spark over this gap of this metal and that metal, and maybe coat it with iridium, and blah, 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 blah. And who knows what he thought of. And then that spark will ignite a fire, and we'll have the internal combustion engine going on. And Nikola Tesla invented that out of his brain. If you look at it right, my head looks like a spark plug. Like here's a it's it's laying out here, and here's the grounding part, the circle here, and then the view from the top is that'll make you jump. I hope you shocked yourself, you son of a bitch, you fat bastard. You like tapped me on the shoulder, threw a penny at me, little prick. So I was rewiring an outlet. I don't know why in my roommate Bill's bedroom, and he was still on the computer. We were doing some stuff, and I was multitasking like an idiot. Live wires in my hand, right? I'm rewiring his outlet. We're talking. He's working on the computer. Except we didn't want to shut the power down, so I wired it hot, like a dumbass. And so, of course, Bill had to mess with me. So I got, you know, I might as well have my fingertips wet. Play around. I have pliers in my hands. I've got a screwdriver that, it's got a handle. It's insulated. No worries. I'm not gonna hurt myself, but it could be painful. Pzat. So Bill's in the background. He makes this noise like pzat, and I jump, and I wasn't shocking myself, but he made a sound like someone being shocked. I jumped, and then I made it happen. I went, son of a bitch. I'm going to kill you, Bill. The screwdriver's going in your cranium. And he goes, like he freezes for an instant, because he just wants to look. He's like, did it work? Is he dead? Whew, man, you're getting on my last nerve. No, he wasn't like that. He's a much nicer guy than that. What, you ruined that thread? Like this thread only? I killed him, man. I killed the thread on the BBS. Oops. Not the first time. T-Mod here reporting for duty. So yeah, synonyms for drunk, intoxicated, or high. DIH, I like to call it. That'll get you a DUI. And we have a DLH on 1814 to 17th Street, 1313 Mockingbird Lane. We got a fat guy. He's drunk on his ass. Over. Overloaded on the Bud Light, the Miller Light, and the Yingling lagers. Yeah, 2 lagers. In the mood for a lager today. I'm gonna have a lager. I'm gonna drink like a lager. Look, 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 look. Want to see the chainsaw? Look, 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 look. It's Guinness. Ah, I get paid to endorse that. They put that cup right in, a little CGI right there. You going Guinness? Wiping a little beer foam mustache off my actual mustache. I almost look like a milk mustache on a kid. It'd be cute, but it'll be age appropriate. You go, Guinness. He's the most interesting man in the world. We stole him off of those Mexicans. Mexican! Well, it's a good thing I amuse myself because I might be alone for a while. You see his head pop up. That's a grilled cheese sandwich right there. Look at that. Ain't she pretty? She's got them golden hair. Oh, Lordy. And this Papa Bear wants some honey, that golden honey bear. Let me be, oh, let him be, yo, teddy bear. Bop, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. So I just want to share my art with the world, and I'm asking for a little help. So this is my Kickstarter campaign. Hopefully I can get my producer over there to edit this out so it makes some sort of sense to somebody, and we'll get the money for it. So I'm going to make a reality show about my podcast. So I interview people. Being the comedian that I am, I kind of understand where Robin Williams was. I wish he did more interviews. Like his interactions with Stephen Fry are priceless. Priceless. Stephen Fry says, technically this is not insane. It's just overloaded, manic, depressive. This right here is what we call a comedian, boys and girls. He's like a puppet of his emotions, his hormones. The knowledge of his lifespan and how it can be funny or it can be bad. It can be really bad. Oh, it's bad right there. Oh, this hurts. This sucks. I'm going to die. My guts are going to explode. Oh, this is bad. And then you get the Irish Robin Williams for St. Patty's Day, who has 2 thumbs and has done that impression before. Gonna drink on a plate of wine. The Polish make it fine. It's finer than frog hair. That Polish moonshine beer they make over there. They call it Pilsner Urkel. Man, was that good beer. Oh, it was a hot summer August day. I'm wearing a suit because I'm the man, right? I'm the man. He's the man. So I'm the man. I'm walking. I mean, I'm wearing this suit, or this suit wearing me. With my hair, like imagine that black there, like I had a Elvis pompadour going on. Just let him be, teddy bear, jet black. Like he dyed his hair black. I don't know if you know that. Now this is Orson Welles explaining the story of Elvis Presley. We'll be back in a moment with more story time with Uncle Goat. Remember to smile. Why so serious? When you if you blur your vision, like my naturally eyes are all messed up. You can see all sorts of interesting effects. Blurring the field makes for colors that blend together. So something that was white next to a black mark is now a gray blur. So some of the white information's over here, some of the black information's over here. So I could make my face look like a ghostly apparition of Orson Welles during the Christmas Carol while Humbug. They'd hire him as an actor for that role. Amazing fellow. Messed up back, walked with a cane 90% of his life. I'm getting there. I have been there. There are days I wish I only walked with a cane instead of a walker. Like I've walked out of knee surgery. They first adjusted the walker too low, and I was a little high still from the anesthesia. They didn't even put me out. Like I got a spinal block. That was good stuff. When it wore off, my body felt like it was floating. My legs were higher than my head, and I got vertigo. This is for the drug wearing off. This is coming down from the drug. The trip up was amazing. Oh, oh wow, pretty colors. So you get this fade with your eyes, where you blend colors together. And when you blend colors, you can also blend shade and hue. Like I can make my face look like the cover of a vodka bottle. This is Orson Welles. We were drinking no potato vodka before it's time. It's almost St. Patty's Day, so it's time, baby. Pulls his cigar to his mouth. This is Orson Welles for Goat Moonshine. It's handcrafted. Why are you so serious? So the colors blend together, and that can also allow your mind to perceive shapes blending together. And these are the things I want to express in my art. And I know some people will think that's a little crazy. If I've seen it and done it, I can imagine it and more. And to be able to express that, to be able to reach out, I can talk about a waterfall in my painting. You ever been on a rock elevated up above a waterfall, like the water of the river flowing level here in the drop off, and you're above that intersection, that drop off. You're looking down, you get a little vertigo. Well, that's what it was like coming down off of that stuff they put in my back to do the spinal block for my knee surgery. So, what was that all about? So, you're getting old and you transfer these emotions around. Because there's pain that interferes with emotion, there's adrenaline that interferes with, other hormones, whether it's growth hormone to repair your cells or to build muscle, which is also building muscle is a cellular repair process. If you didn't know that, no little biology this happens. Um, and you've got this magical blending of shapes that you can do just by blurring your vision a little bit. See if I can do this. Now, this is going to be tough because I'm blind, all right? So now I'm going to try to aim my glasses. They're floating in here like a drunken bat. Here we go. Touchdown. Can you see through my lens and see the distortion of the light? How much light it reflects? Let's see if I can get that reflection. See, it reflects a bunch of light, so that decreases the amount of information getting to my eyes. How's that for a special effect, huh? And that would be my right eye, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, so this P there, right eye. Yeah, that's my right eye. I'm a little messed up. So you see how much distortion is there? So how I see the universe is quite literally. I could use a clean. Oh wow, I can get the spot on my glasses to line it with a cursor on the. Well, that's some amazing feedback. I wonder if that feedback expresses something across my face. Damn it, I'm too loud again. All right, so you can see a little distortion there, perhaps. And the right lens is stronger. I think it's a 6 point. Oh no, I hit 7. I think. Uh, I don't know, a couple of years ago. My eyes ain't great, but I'm still an artist. I can make you see something you've never seen before. So the left ones are not as strong. This is fun with optics time with story time with Uncle Goat. What's the optic? So you ever feel like there's a Scooby Doo dancing underwater sequence? Is that a neat effect or what? That gives you an idea of the shimmer, the shine off of the lenses. The polycarbonate scratch and dent and impact resistant safety glass lenses. Pretty awesome. Because I mean, I'm an artist. I do sculpture. I can weld pretty well. I mean, I can make a living as a welder if I if it didn't do stuff that hurt my back. Like, welders have to get in some awkward places to, join stuff together to make the matrix of our world. So anyway, so yeah, you want to protect your eyes. 4,000-degree sparks flying back at your face. At the very least, you want to protect your eyes. And oh yeah, there's radiation, so you have to have the welder's shield to filter out, 98% of the light. So we all look different in a different light too. That's an interesting thing. I've looked up. Somebody was helping me weld or holding on a piece of this steel, this angle iron, or whatever we're doing, and bed frame, and there's this red hot plasma, white hot plasma, 6,000 degrees. You strike an arc, and that arc can easily be 6,000 degrees centigrade, depending on the voltage, the wattage, how much amperage is flowing, what the voltage is across that gap, what the composition of this air is, mixture of gases. And that spark can be all sorts of different temperatures. And where do you measure it? Some thermometers only go so high and then they melt. So you can't make a thermometer out of ice because it turns into water at X temperature. Or maybe you can. That's how you calibrate you know, calibrate the thermometer. So I want to be able to put out that white hot heat that you see and feel. And I want it to be interpreted through a lens that, you know, I guess there are 1 in quadrillion chances it happens. So maybe your mind can perceive exactly the same as mine does. It's possible. Even with different variables, sometimes we can get to the same number. Ha! How's that for philosophy and math altogether? And perhaps some humor. And that's what I want to sell to the world. I want to melt this all together and make a beautiful thing. Majestic, brown, melanin filled back tones. And then they jump to the foreground and blend. And that's how you paint. That's how you create art. Is you translate emotion into power, and then you burn things, and then you pull them back from being burned, and you heat them up until they glow. And I want to express that with my art, and I think that's worth investing in. I think that's worth teaching to future generations. I've been offered several times to teach children of all ages, like myself. 48. All right, we've been going for 2 hours now. Let's stop this, huh? Because I got to end one stream and start another. This will be a stream of waste products from my body. I'm getting old, but urinating was always a favorite hobby of mine. So I'm going to end this stream and go start another one. And we're probably going to edit that out for many age groups. I like the way you jiggle when he wiggle and he laugh. That's Santa Claus, Santa Claus. Who's sitting on whose lap? And that's the blue, baby. Remember, every warning isn't of itself a trigger. Sometimes you just gotta pull the trigger, baby. Let her fly. I am starting a new stream. So yeah, you can get high to the point where you feel like a Macy's Thanksgiving Day float. Only it's St. Patrick's Day. You look like a caterpillar giggling. That's how drunk you are. You look like Jabba the Hutt doing, I don't know what you call that. Like, that is so ugly. I can't look away. Oh, I'm going to regret this. I already did. But look at that. There's Leia in the golden bikini. What a powerful woman. Thank God for her. That's one worth holding on to right there. She's neat. Yeah. She went from the Cinnabon to the cover of the porno right there. She had the buns on the side of her head, the Princess Leia hairdo. She hated that apparently. She had to sit still for hours and hair and makeup. Did not like that. She's like, they mess with my hair more than they do Chewbacca. So some days I didn't do her hair up as much. Like she's doing a voiceover kind of day. So yeah, she's like, anyone touches my hair, we're gonna get a knife in the eyeball. And I brought a knife. No one touches my hair today. This means you. Poke, poke. Yeah, so I gotta love her. Oh, what a story. And in the first one, her and her brother might have had a little love interest going on there. Like talking about going to the cover of the porno. That's the thumbnail, baby. It's my stepbrother. Oh, it's just my stepsis. Okay. We're not blood. All right then. Let's not go there again for a while, shall we? Aunt Linda might be watching. So somebody asked me about you know, messing up in life and being judged. I'm like, you know what? We all mess up somewhere along the way, and you know, some of us pay for it in different ways than others. Me, I like to see the contrast of life, but I like to see how we can come together as one. Be great. But yeah, you look back on your life, and yeah, I made mistakes. But I sure have tried to be good to everybody and try to do good things, do good work, feed the soul of the children of the following generation that we're responsible for. Even if you don't have children, you're responsible because you interact with those children. And it can be bad or it can be powerful and positive. And you get them to go on adventures, but not so much that they hurt themselves. And if they hurt themselves, maybe just a little bit, not too much. Little skint knees, not the end of the world. And you need to, you know, build your courage back up, realize, okay, I'm fine. I'm tough enough. I can take this. I'm the hero of my story. And off they go. In the wild, we go into the clouds. So teaching the children is not important. It might be the most important thing that some people do, but I don't know how closely you're going to want to look at my mistakes in life. Is that a bad example? Is that all it is? Or is it much more useful than that? Do we need to see this pain that happened for these bad decisions? Is it a butterfly effect thing where a butterfly flaps wings over here and over on the other side of the world there's a hurricane or a typhoon? It lands on a cattail in a swamp, a butterfly, the butterfly effect. Your memories change over time. Like you re engineer them. The cogs slip, brain cells die, and you lose a little chunk of memory, but the cog re engages right where it left off. So our memories change over time. You like that animation? Tick tock, tick tock. Black, heavy, pendulous. The Rocky Horror Picture Show for you. Your mileage may vary. Love your faces. Trying to pop my wrist. My shoulders popped. Again. Oh, yeah. That was good. Oh, I hope I can capture that. Oh, I hope you heard that. That feels so good. Like I can use this hand again for my art. That's how good it feels. Yeah, so things happen in life, and you live through them, and these experiences color your world in the future. I'm sure you've heard the expression. Then I saw red, and then I just bowled him over. Ba-doom! You seeing more red right now in your perception? Does the red in my comforter jump out at you, and the black fade in the background? Does the beige color in my face, my skin features, fade, and the red comes out of my beard, and the red comes out of my lips? like blood red, fire engine red. It's my birthday and I'm dancing, I'm grooving. Some here looks like a padded toilet seat, don't it? Oh man, that'd be great, right? But ladies, we'd have to lift the lid. What in the world is that? Is that some sort of leg of an alien stuffed animal creature? Oh, it's a neck pillow. It's a boob outline. Make them tight. Hang tight, ladies. Like bullet boobs of the 50s. You can cut yourself on those things. The 60s were worse when we started playing around with silicone, both in the outfits and then underneath the skin. Oh, this is a neck pillow. You see it a lot on airlines. Sometimes it helps out my hair, sometimes not. But you can do all sorts of funny stunts with it. So it's like, I feel like I'm being born. It's my birthday after all. No, I want to go back in. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Star Trek USS 72 Enterprise. Make it so. Engage. So this is Patrick Stewart wearing a neck pillow. It's affecting his voice a little bit. Jean-Luc Picard. Like how my hair's flying off. It's like a streamline. He's flying. A lot of people don't know that Geordie was got to start reading Rainbow. Where'd that white foot come from? Who's down behind that fat guy anyway? What are they doing? Don't you worry. It's my birthday. That's a visual that's in your head right there, in your third chakra, right between your eyes, right there. That's a home run. I'm calling my shot. Swinging the bat. Like I hit the cover off the ball. That's how funny that was. And he's like a centipede. Like Alice in Wonderland. He's got a hookah. So yeah, that's my idea for streaming network for THC enthusiasts. Enthusiasts. Pass the hookah, please. I'm an enthusiast. I have something caught in my teeth. My tongue doesn't operate properly. What is that fat guy doing on that couch with his knees? Hey, you have knee surgery. Oh, it affects things in a good way, baby. So if every now and then a man leans over to a woman and all of a sudden the voice goes deeper and very soft, like you can't hear it, like it cuts out, but maybe you can still see his lips moving. He's saying something like, "Hey, baby." So, well, here's one that worked for me once. I was playing dulcimer. The story started out like this. Well, there's this instrument. I was playing dulcimer at a science fiction convention, and I was too messed up to make it all the way back to my room. So I just sat on a table outside of the elevator for a while, plinking away on my dulcimer. And at one point, this lady got real close, like uncomfortable talking distance close. But if something else is about to happen, it's a good distance to be at. And she got a little close, and I dropped down a couple of octaves and said something to her. I don't remember all of what I said to her. And if I do, I might be keeping that to myself. That might be my secret weapon. And press that button right there. It's the white knuckle button. Makes your knuckles turn white. Maybe I shouldn't tell this one. Maybe I'll stop. We're flying now. That was my fish impression. You see those puffer fish? Their head looks way too big for their body. Like you can't even see the rest of their body back here. Every now and then you'll see a little flick of a tail. Like here's his fins. He's just and all he's doing is hovering. He's not going anywhere. He's making all this movement. Pectoral fins going and like this is canceling out that, and he's just hovering like in the water. And he's all over the place, and yet like his center of gravity and center of object, uh, center of motion are not the same, except at a certain exact angle, and then he's just moving everywhere. But he's net zero energy gain. Like he's pushing against the water here. It's beautiful. I just stare at that. Wow, look at that. And some of them have this little tuft on their dorsal fin. It kind of waves just a little bit, like a little tuft of hair. It's so neat. So yeah, I'm a child at heart, but I'm 48 years old. I am celebrating the 20th anniversary of my 28th birthday. Like I made it to 28, and that was a great thing. And I just want to celebrate that. Here's that, fellas. Here's my Starbucks mug that I paid way too much money for. But hey, it was on a government loan, so maybe I theoretically haven't paid anything yet on it. Here's to you, fellers. And many more, and fewer colonoscopies, or get the help you need. Go see a doctor about that, brother. That ain't natural. Look at that. Look at that thing coming out on your forehead. What is that? It's spongy. It's like a third eye, like the eye of Osiris. Pineal gland. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm working on it. I'm trying to become a better human. You do the same. Reach out. Give somebody a hug that's different from you, because we're all actually the same. Team humanity. Hoorah. All right, brothers and sisters. Some of you sisters I'll be talking to later. Into one stream, start another. We love, actually. We live. It's a great thing. Life, actually. Well, if this was a plushy toilet seat, I'd be like getting a swirly. My head's through. Oh, yeah, that's the other one I should do. The flushing toilet. That's the sound of the siphon starting. That toll sound. It's like a Klingon word. I'm such a geek. All right, so listen. And then it's like, it makes it sound like the Call of Cthulhu or something. We are the Elder Ones. It's like Sam Kinison doing an impression of a satanic elder god from a swamp. We are the Ancient Ones. We're here to steal your booze. Give me that. Makes all kinds of unnatural noises. You gotta love Sam Kinison. Oh man, I'm kind of loud. Well, Sam Kinison impression. All right, I need to go pee. It's been fun. I'm kind of stretching my limit. Like some days I'm fine, but man, I had an old man prostate or something when I was a kid. Like I'm 7 years old. I'm taking a leak off the porch, off the back of the church service Easter Sunday. Feels so good. I got a beautiful new suit on. It's orange and yellow and beige. It's fantastic. It reflects the sunlight well. And they're taking a leak off the back porch of the. And there's a walkway that comes up with these steep stairs. That's the porch I'm peeing off of. The Arc de Triomphe. Like, the only thing that would make it better is if there was a black light that was just turning dark, like maybe a wolf howling in the background, some hoofs trampling, delivering a message from a dark place. Oh, that is my painting. Howl at the Blood Moon. One of my best, I think. Right now, I have a small version. It's about 1 foot tall by 7.5 inches wide. Beautiful. The wolf is stretching to howl up at the moon, craning his neck. And like, I'm an old guy that feels the pain now. So when I stretch my neck, it means something to me. So for me to howl at the moon like that, I hope that strain emotion gets onto the canvas. That the wolf goes up, and this moon is not quite, it's full, it's the blood moon. So it's reddish in color. There are black shadows on this moon, but there's pink, there's brightness, warmth around the edges, and light. It's still reflecting sunlight. It's fantastic, just fantastic. Also, when that shows up in October, it's a harvest moon, and man, that's, if you've ever seen that on a field of produce, and it's your field, and it's money in your pocket, and to see that full moon hit that, that's special. That is a gift from nature, and to not enjoy that and take that in, I think would be a sin against nature. Well, there's that orange color, the word that doesn't rhyme with anything that's not just made up, that describes a color, describes a kingdom, the orange kingdom. Did you know that carrots became orange in support for William of Orange in Holland? Yeah, the Dutch country folk made carrots orange to celebrate. A man also known as William the Bastard, as William the Conqueror. So orange is connected with his name, which is also against green. Isn't that neat? How colors are affected by our political, socioeconomic differences and similarities. They reflect one another. They cancel each other out to dull browns. So anyway, so St. Patty's Day green. That's what we call Limerick green. Oh, it's a fine, fine color. Don't you know? For St. Patty's Day. So I was big red on St. Patty's Day. And red also was the opposite of green. The Limerick green, a lime. Some do the Sherwood Forest. Lincoln green on St. Patty's Day. Do I look like a 400-pound leprechaun? Well, I'm only about 320, so better than that. Not quite Job of the Hutt of leprechauns. So, where were we? Oh, my lucky charms. I had to get that in there. Oh, is that the three-leaf magical clover? Yeah, it be. Follow me over the rainbow. Where's me pipe? Yeah, why were they smoking when they thought of leprechauns? So there's these little people. They're wee short. Just wee. Not very tall. Barely an inch. You can put them right in your pocket. And they're called leprechauns. And then there are bigger leprechauns. So dangerous. Watch your arse, matey. Watch your arse. Because Sally's watching it for you and you're watching Sally's. You might get a little distracted. It's St. Patty's Day after all. And when you like to give that a little patty on Patty's patty behind. Ooh, Patty And then every now and then I'd break in my Sean Connery impression too. Quatermain. Like Winston Churchill introducing Sean Connery. And this, ladies and gentlemen, as we have never endeavored before, to approach the Sean. This is an American Englishman, Chancellor Churchill of England. Take two. We shall never surrender. We shall fight on the beaches, on the concourses of the golf courses, marred with the shell holes of World War One. This is the Battle of Britain. He has that big bulldog face. He actually, his family raised, wait for it, memory access engaging. What kind of dogs were he? Oh, yeah, poodles. Some of you may have known that. So we're like, get on with it, fat guy. All right, so that's the other reason why I like him. He was a powerful man that was a fat guy, Winston Churchill. Not always fat. He was thin and beautiful, young and lithe and muscular and so bad. And an artist. His work is worth millions of dollars. Just beautiful oil paintings. Almost as beautiful as my best work. Winston, your move, brother. Perhaps we'll have to pursue this into another dimension on art canvas itself. So also do murals. The name of my business is Neely Mural. There's a crow call out. Am more? Quoth the raven. So which complements the pheasant as well. And a crow is almost like a phoenix. It's like this charred black bird that's just, you know, in some places downcast as vermin, other places celebrated as being crafty and intelligent, which they are. Just so neat. Humans have had pets, crows as pets for thousands of years. There's great stories about crows opening locked doors for people to go and get a key. Like the people can communicate with them well enough that the crow does, helps their buddy out. Yeah. And they can be so mean and cruel and nasty, just like humans. I mean, oh, nasty, nasty. They have civil wars among each other. I mean, that's pretty seriously complex behavior. You can only call it a civil war. There's no really other good word to describe it. Fascinating anthropology in an animal that's very distant from us and yet so human like. We've used them in cartoons, both for good reasons and for racist reasons. Very powerful imagery. And part of that imagery for me is they represent the charred phoenix rising out from its ashes. And they're part of the ash. There's a point in time there where the old bird is destroyed and it's just this charred mass of black. And then out of that black comes fire. Some air gets breathed into it, and the fire gets brighter and redder and hotter and faster. And out of that fire bursts this black thing that had died and is reborn. And it's bright fire in the wings. And the crow was part of that. And that has been used as racism in the past. The black color of the raven, of the crow. Bad stuff, man. But it's also been, I mean, Jim Crow laws are called that because of the crow. That's how they're remembered popularly, all sorts of. There are cartoons they want to let you show in certain schools now that have uh, black actors or white actors imitating black people as crows in animated features. And some of it is fantastic, harmless stuff, really fantastic humor. And others is just like, oh my God, I cannot believe they did that. Like, oh, that's racist right there. Did they mean to do that? Oh, that's bad. Oh, sorry about your luck, fellas. You're going to be branded in a bad way. That's bad. Yeah. So the guys that produce that get in trouble. The ladies that allow it, that took part in it. You gotta shoulder that. You gotta own it. So I own my artwork. All right. Now I'm not going to say that I can just waltz into your house once you bought one of my paintings and change the art or something egotistically insane like that. Although that would be an interesting experiment, would it not? So purchase my art, help me publicize my artistry and show the world that I have something to give that perhaps might be as important as, dare I say, some of the greats. So it's my birthday, so I ain't wearing pants. So some of you might want to hide your eyes. It's your nightmare, Mr. Real. He's wearing shorts. All right. Oh, all right. We're gonna adjust this off camera. I'm gonna go start another stream. You're my old. Oh yeah, here's another hat idea with the neck pillow. It's like one of those Cossack hats, like the Afghanistan. Oh, I can't snort laugh too hard, or I'll pee on myself. It hurts when I pee. Stop laughing. Going to end one stream, start another. Not go fishing in that one. Free energy. That's a great idea. Bye bye. Yeah, I want to end it now.